We are just weeks away from the coronation of King Charles. It's all very exciting. There'll be golden carriages, crown jewels, a hell of a lot of pomp and ceremony. The downside, there are many downsides, but one of them is the taxpayer will be footing the bill. The public aren't particularly pleased about that. 32% of the public say that the government should pay for the coronation, but 51% of the public disagree. They think someone else, presumably the king, should pay. The bill for the event, which is mainly for policing, is thought to be between 50 and 100 million pounds. And King Charles would, of course, have no trouble paying for it himself. According to The Guardian, the king is worth 1.8 billion pounds, a figure they say is derived from cars, jewellery, property investments, horses, art, and the hereditary estate. Ash, people aren't as keen on this coronation as I think some people were expecting them to be. I mean, I suppose my analysis, I think once the BBC sort of grinds into action and we're sort of suddenly cut, it's forced on us 24 hours a day, the public might come around. But at the moment, the Telegraph has these sort of worried articles like no one cares about the coronation, what's going on? And now people don't want to pay for it. What's your take on this?
The thing that was really striking about that figure, that King Charles's private fortune is 1.8 billion pounds, is that he could single-handedly finance the 35% pay restoration for junior doctors and still have nearly £1 billion left over. Like, that's a crazy amount of money for anybody to have. And, I'm just saying that if we abolished the monarchy and did a little bit of expropriation, we could probably have a really good NHS without having to tax anybody more in terms of their wages and their income. Just an idea, just floating that. That would be my preferred tactic as Chancellor. I mean, I think that you're right to say that some of these numbers will probably shift once the BBC's consent manufacturing machine kicks into action. But I think that Charles was always going to be less of a sure bet in terms of public opinion. Now, I'm not simply talking about, Princess Diana and Camilla and all of that kind of stuff. One of the things which I'm trying to get at is that his mother, Elizabeth II, really was the first queen of television. So lots of people bought television sets in order to watch her coronation in the 1950s. Her first private secretaries were very against the idea of public relations. They soon got over that particular snobbery, and the communications budget and offices of the various palaces absolutely blossomed. And she was somebody who reinvented her image at various points in her life so that she could go from this kind of, young woman and young mother who, represented a kind of, optimistic Britain at the, beginning of a new journey post World War II and post Empire, to becoming a grandmother of a nation. If you were to believe the tone of media coverage, you'd think she went around handing out, little handfuls of Quality Street to everybody that she met, rather than, making herself exempt from more than 160 laws. Charles has had a very different relationship with the media. His personal life has been something which has been considered fair game for tabloids for most of his adult life. And he's somebody who was unable to play on some of those gendered expectations in the same way that his mother did. And I think what that adds up to is a less adoring relationship with the public. So lots of the things which I think were just considered par for the course under the reign of his mum, so the massive taxpayer bill for all of this pomp and circumstance, the preferential treatment that they get under the law, those are things which I think are going to come under a bit more scrutiny, and I don't think are going to be, met with so much public support.